Welcome to this BBC News Facebook Live. We are at Latymer Community Church in West London, where we're just going to take a few minutes and we're going to show you one particular aspect of the disaster that's affected the people in this neighbourhood. People have made a tribute wall, leaving messages to all of those people affected. I'm just going to ask Tony, our cameraman today, to zoom into the wall and show you some of the messages that people have left, just to give you a little sense of what the reaction, extraordinary community reaction to the disaster has been. All sorts of messages from all sorts of people. If we just take the one here, rest in peace, we are one. So a message of unity from the people of this community. There's writing, looks to me like Arabic, forgive me if I'm wrong, in many places, very diverse community, and many more. Hilltop is praying for Grenfell, many messages saying rest in peace, peace and blessings, love from the Leicester community. So messages from far and wide. Let's just ask Tony just to pull back a little bit and perhaps look in the other direction. There's actually a man at the end of the wall there putting up more boards. So my voice is probably being slightly drowned out, I do apologise for that, but it's actually a man drilling in the wall to put up more boards for people to write even more messages on. If you've got questions and comments, please do post them in the box. Wendy says, so very sad. I think that encapsulates, that captures the thoughts of many people as they consider what's gone on. We learned this morning that the death toll has now risen to 17 confirmed dead, but obviously firefighters and investigators working their way through the tower. They say that the central structure of the tower is intact, and that's enabling them to work through the block very slowly. Got an update here on the Facebook page, BBC News Facebook page, a short while ago. Fire service and investigators saying it's going to be many weeks before they're able to fully access, obviously, the upper floors of the block. The biggest challenge, I think, just from a distance, perhaps we could capture. There are people writing messages as I speak here today. Thank you very much for your messages, by the way. Wendy says, so very sad. Trixie says, love and comfort from the USA. Ahmad says, our prayers are with you. Garth also says a kind message. Can anyone give an idea of the demographics in that area? Well, I think it's fair to say that it's a very diverse community, where there are some wealthier families and some not so wealthier families living very close together. Arloma says, love from Barbados. Marish says, very sorry for who were affected and rest in peace the ones who passed away. Let's just have a closer look at some of the other messages here. I think a lady's just about to write her own. We won't disturb her, but let's just allow her the little space and time to do her thing. I can see one that says, no words, just prayers, God bless you all. Many more. You are in our hearts, rest in peace. Many RIP messages. Not all of the messages in English, of course, and I'll ask Tony just to tilt the camera down slightly so you can see. Flowers being left by many people. People have left marker pens as well so that people can write their own messages here. Messages on cards, bunches of flowers, some candles I think that were lit overnight have burned themselves out now. Very poignant messages. Let's pick up on some more of your comments. Jane says, our hearts are broken. Canada agrees with you, she says. Good Luck says, what caused the fire? Of course, that's the question that everybody wants to be able to answer. I think it's fair to say that lots of suspicion, let's put it that way, about the cladding that was on the outside of the building, but absolutely no sense at all whether that is definitely what allowed the fire to spread. It might be, it might not be. And investigators this morning, within the last hour and a half, saying that it really is too early to say exactly what made that happen. Let's just ask Tony just to pull out again, just to give people a bit of a perspective on how big this thing is. Lots and lots and lots of messages to those affected. Right in the middle it says, pray for our community. We'll just show you one other little detail here. Someone has pinned a poster onto the wall for someone who's missing. So this says, let me know if you see Mariam El Ghwari. She was on the 19th floor of Grenfell Tower. Last someone heard from her was 2:30 a.m. She was with her mum. Please let anyone know she's been located. Thank you for all your help. Okay, and there's a phone number underneath. And there's also the police emergency number details on, of course, the BBC website. So, flowers, tributes, candles. Some people... I'll just ask Tony just to turn around, actually, just to give you a sense of the kind of people that are here. Let me duck out of the way slightly. I mean, obviously lots of media attention, but members of the community coming to pay their respects. Let's just walk. If we ask, this could be a little tricky, so just bear with us a sec. We're going to walk forward slightly, just so we can get the whole wall in perspective. Let's just ask Tony just to step this way, just so that we can give you a sense of what's going on. Look, many messages and many flowers, tributes, different languages. Obviously many people here reflecting on the rising death toll. Dozens of people still believed to be missing. Police and investigators refusing this morning, quite properly probably, to get drawn into any conversation about what kind of figure we could end up with the death toll. Too early to say, and it would be irresponsible, they say, to give a specific number, but clearly the death toll is rising and the expectation is that it will very sadly rise further. I'm just going to try, now forgive us if the signal doesn't go brilliantly well, I'm just going to try to take you around to the other side of the building. Let's give it a go. Just forgive us just a sec. I'm going to ask Tony just to follow me, and my colleague Jan here just to hang quiet just for a minute. We're going to walk around. I'm going to try and show you something on the other side of the building. So perhaps if Tony just points this way, something truly extraordinary is happening here. At this community centre, people are dropping off donations and giving out free food. I mean, it's much bigger on the other side. We may lose the signal, so please do bear with us. But as you can see, people with bottles of water, food, there's some bread. Ah, here we go. Sign on the wall says food, drinks and seating upstairs, Wi-Fi, more posters for missing. We're just going to give this a go, so we're just going to walk forward. I'm just going to ask Tony to follow me. Now just around the other side of the building here, if the signal holds up for us, you're going to see a lot of activity, huge amounts of material donations. If we just look here, shoes, bags of shoes, clothing, all kinds of other things. A bag of bread, I can see loads of bread. Let's just walk this way, just to give people a sense of what's going on. I'm just going to show you. Just ask Tony. Just have a look across here. Now, at the moment, the organisers are saying that so many people have given donations the message that they want to get across is thank you. Thank you to the community for just an incredible response. So they've actually reached the point where they say they can't actually cope with any more donations at this point. They are well organised, and they're finding ways to get this material out through food banks, community centres and various other places around the borough to the people who need help. But they've just got so much of a response that this morning they actually started saying they couldn't physically handle any more donations. So I'll show you on this side. Just ask Tony just to come out to the left slightly. There's an offer of emergency accommodation, and there's free food. So group of people here handing out free food to those people who need it. Let's just try and have a little talk to them. I'm not sure, just bear with us if the signal fails. I do apologise if the signal fails. Can I talk to you for 20 seconds?
Yeah, okay.
Can you just...
Sorry, I just got my chef calling me.
Okay, we don't want to get in the way of the chef.
Jay, what's up, mate?
Okay, so a huge amount of activity. We'll come back in a second. Let's just see if we can have a little chat with one of the community organisers who's putting this thing together. Let's just see if this works. Hello.
Hello.
We spoke earlier. Can I grab you for 20 seconds?
Yeah.
What's your, if you had to get one message out to people at this point about what's unfolding here, what would it be?
The response has been overwhelming from the community. At the moment, we don't need any more donations.
They're already in.
Or volunteers. Everyone's doing an incredible job. And if they want to volunteer, they can sign up on the Volunteer Centre, Kensington and Chelsea's website.
Just tell us how we do that.
So you can go online, send us an email to registrations@vckc.org.uk, or you can go on Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea's website and sign up there.
Okay, just give us a sense of how much material, how much you've just had donated here, just in the last 36 hours, not even that.
Not even that. I couldn't even begin to describe it. So this is just one centre, and this is the car park. So the whole of the inside was packed, which is why it overflowed into the car park. It's now overflowed outside the car park, and this is just one of about 10 centres. So it's incredible. Yeah.
Okay, we won't detain you any further. You've got important work to do. Is it okay if I take our cameraman inside, just briefly?
Briefly.
Okay, we'll do that, and we'll be out very shortly. So I'm hoping that this is still working for you. So obviously a huge amount of work being done. I'll just ask Tony just to pan around and just see what we can look at. Just a huge amount of activity, people coming and going, working out what's been donated, where can it go, how can it get to the right people, who needs what. I can see a box that says coats and jackets. I can see another box that says women's trousers. It is, I've got to say, in the most charitable sense, in the best sense, it is slightly reminiscent of disaster relief. Let me just show you this. I mean, look at this. Just have a look at this. So this is an enormous pile of material. It looks to me like everything from clothes to shoes to bags. What else can I see? Everything. Blankets. I can see over here another load of water. Oh, it's children's books. Let's just ask Tony just to get a shot of that. Children's books. What have they got? Yeah, more things coming all the time. I can see a man has just put a couple of duvets. I mean, that's something, isn't it? That if you were, heaven forbid, to find yourself homeless, that's something that you would need. I can see blankets. I can see volunteers. It's noisy, but strangely, it's not chaotic. It's very well organised. People will know what they want to do and how they're going to do it, and it's just underlines the extraordinary response that's just come so quickly. Just quite a breathtaking thing to see, if I'm honest. I can see, I think that's a child's cot. I mean, obviously many families made homeless by what's happened here, in need of absolutely everything. I can see a brand new pair of scissors. Just extraordinary. just going to ask Tony just to turn round to his right. Oh. Okay, let's just see that big pile of clothing again. Just an amazing amount of material of all sorts coming in response to the disaster. Just going to ask Tony just to hold that shot, just to give people a sense of that view. That's what generosity looks like. If you've ever wondered what charity and generosity looks like, have a look at that. That's what it looks like. That's what happens when a community really decides that it's going to do something. Lots of people here. Lots of people here doing all kinds of things. Let's just stand back a bit, actually. Let's just come back a bit, just so that we can get that. That probably is the most striking thing that we've seen. I'm just going to come back a bit, just so that we can try not to get in the people's way. We've got very important work to do. Let's ask Tony just to get a shot of that big pile from slightly up high, just because of various technical issues to do with signals. Oh, okay. Big cheer goes up. Is that a pizza delivery? Is that someone donating pizza?
Oh, great. Donating it, yeah.
Okay.
Donating pizza.
Pizza East has donated us the pizzas! Yay!
Right, okay. Right, people, I think it's lunchtime, folks.
Chicken and everything.
Okay. Let's ask Tony just to get into amongst the pizzas. So these guys are moving through, offering...
Pizza, guys.
Not for me, thank you. Can you tell me where you're from?
Hestia.
Is that a local pizza?
It's a floating support service.
Okay, excellent. Okay. Just an extraordinary thing. Pizzas being dished out, clothing. Just pretty amazing stuff, actually. Pretty amazing stuff. Okay. So people of all ages as well. I can see at least one young girl in the mix here. Obviously affecting everybody in the community. All ages. Everybody out together. Generosity on a pretty impressive scale. Impressive scale.
There was a lady who could organise me some transit van. If you're still around, please come back.
Okay, have you got that call out for a transit van? One of the big issues here is trying to physically deal with the amount of material. Excuse me, sir. Can I just ask you what made you come and help here? What's the motivation for you right now?
There's no motivation really. It's just wanted to help. Just took time off work, and yeah, like it's all well and good that stuff like this happens outside of London, outside of the UK. But when it happens in your own backyard, if you can help, why not? What's 2 hours to help?
Sure. And so, are you from the area?
Well, I'm from South East London, but it only takes an hour to get there.
Okay, so you've come quite a distance then, just to loan a hand.
Yeah, because I'm going to work after this, so
Okay.
like it's not far from work because I work in Central London. But apart from that, yeah, so I can't go here and then I go straight to work.
Okay, I'm going to get out of your way. Okay, thank you. Thanks for speaking to us. Okay, let's just keep having a little walk around. Michelle says, ordinary people donating their time and their possessions. My prayers are with you all. Great work and support. Oh.
Absolutely.
Filming, help.
Okay, let's just walk back out. Let's get one more shot just so you can see, perhaps right down the end there, you can see the big pile
tell you what you can do if you're if you get into places. We need boxes desperately. You can get that anywhere.
Yeah.
BBC. We need boxes. We're running out of boxes. We've got for all those places.
Okay.
There's 4 other centres that need boxes. So
Why don't you tell them yourself? There you go.
Hello.
Just what tell us what you need and what people can do to help.
So currently the community have all come together. It's been absolutely incredible today. The donations have been flooding in. Food, clothes, medicine, you name it, it's there. However, the one thing we really need now is boxes. We haven't got boxes. If you look at that pile over there, you'll notice all that needs to be boxed up. And that's the number one priority, because we cannot move it unless we have boxes. So any boxes, if there are any companies out there that could donate, we'd really, really appreciate it if you could deliver those today to us.
Okay, let's get a bit more specific. What would be your ideal? Like, we're talking like removal kind of boxes,
removal boxes, a bit like this one here. Something like that.
So self-storage kind of stuff.
Because what we could do with those is we can then put the clothes in it. We can put medicine in it. We can use. At the moment, we've just got a pile of stuff, and we need to sort it so we can get it to the families as quick as possible.
Got it. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Thank you. There you go. So if there are people out there in London who could do that, that's probably. Remember that this is one of 10 centres, so. That's probably true of the other centres as well. So if you're a box company, if you're a storage company, if you do removals or anything like that, and you want to do some good, that's the message. That's what they need. They're not taking any more donations of food and clothing and all the rest of it at the moment, because the response has been so incredible. But they do need a way to get boxes. They need a way to move this out and make sure it gets to the right people. They've got piles and piles of stuff, as the guy said, but they need to make sure that gets out to the right people. So some people boxing things up already, we can see. Let's just have a little, see if we can have one more chat with someone as they're getting on with their work. Sorry, I don't want to disturb you too much. You've got important work to do. Can you tell us how long you've been here?
From about 9 this morning.
9 this morning. Are you local?
Chiswick, so I used to live in this borough. So
you just came down and volunteered your time? Yeah. Okay. What's the motivation for you?
Just could have been us, couldn't it? It's just anybody. People with kids, that's what just breaks you up, being a parent, knowing these people have just got nothing. It's not the richest community either, we're all... It's just lovely to see everyone coming together and, giving their time. So it's God's work.
Thanks for talking to us. We won't get in your way. Thank you. Okay, let's just go back towards the gate. I'm just going to take you outside of this little area. Oh, before I go, some more stuff going on here. Yeah, more boxes. Boxes are the key. Things being moved out, transit vans needed, transportation needed, and a way to get these things to the right people. Actually, why don't we just go over to the side here? Let me just ask Tony again to just follow me just for a second. Bear with us if the signal breaks up momentarily. Just going to show you something on this side, on the other side of the fence. I don't know if you can see very clearly here. Children's buggies. An enormous pile of children's things, so kids stuff. I can see a baby's bath, I can see various kids equipment. Obviously for families with young children, really not in a good place. That's a godsend, isn't it? I can see children's clothes, I can see blankets, I can see several baths, I can see prams and buggies. That's an extraordinary sight, and it just underlines how a lot of people today will be reflecting on how children have been affected by this disaster. There's just an awful lot going on. Let's see if we can just take a few more of your comments here. Bob, how does this get organised and sent to the right people? Well, Bob, you have absolutely put your finger on it. Some of the people here are community organisers. Most of the people here are volunteers. It's got a strange kind of order about it, in the sense that things are moving and things are being sent to community centres around the area and places where they can get to the right people. But it is an extraordinary sight. It's a spontaneous thing that's just popped up out of nowhere in the last, 36 hours. And the fire, the first call to the fire was at 6 minutes to 1 on Wednesday night, or Wednesday morning I should say. And here we are just a short time afterwards, and here's how that's generosity. That's what generosity looks like. Michael says, my heart goes out to those who lost. May Almighty God grant them love. Anita says, so sweet, people are helping in whatever way they can. I appreciate and love people who act. Love people who are humble and kind. Donny says, prayers to all in London, love to all. Many, many people today reflecting on a really serious situation, and this is what the community response looks like. Edward says, is anyone assessing the donations to see what's needed? There are people doing that. I think it's hard to keep track of exactly everything that's going on. Much of it is being done through churches and community organisations, community centres, charities, food banks. A huge number of organisations and individuals has spontaneously come together. An extraordinary thing to see. I suppose most of the people, I think it's fair to say, certainly not all, but most of the people here are women. People from all sections of the community, young, old, rich and poor. Peggy says, amazing unity, real people care. Right, Karen, thank you very much for your comment, Karen. She says, we don't need any more donations. Perhaps, Karen, if you're involved in the organisation here, that certainly underlines some of the things that the organisers here are saying. Please bring boxes and vans. That's in capital letters. Please bring boxes and vans. Elaine says, where will the people that have lost their homes live now? I'm not sure if we have an answer to that yet. I mean, clearly priority is being given to vulnerable people, and the council is now in a huge operation to try and deal with all that. There's a box, there's women's tops. I think all the boxes are labelled, aren't they? Or some of the ones that have got things in. Trainers size 6, I can see. Neil says, where's the government and the council? Well, I'm sure, not really for me to say what the government and the council are doing. I think this is a spontaneous community thing, really. Anahita says, how could we volunteer there? So very clear message from the organisers here saying, yeah, okay, okay, we get the message. I think we've probably got to move out. So let's take you outside. Obviously, we absolutely don't want to get in the way of people as they do what they need to do. So, important work being done, and they need to have the time and space to do it, really. So let's just squeeze past. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, here we go. Let's get out of the way. Right, I just asked Tony just to come round to the right-hand side. Yeah, did I answer your question, Anita? How could we volunteer there? So the people here saying don't need any more food and clothing. What they need is boxes and vans. Boxes and vans. So let's just show you a bit more of what's happening here. Do you mind if I talk to you for a second? Can I give you 20 seconds?
Yeah,
got a mouthful of food?
Sorry, that's right.
What are you doing here today?
I've come down from Bedford to volunteer to help out put these stuff into vans. So we called up a couple of vans and that to put these in boxes to take them to the drop-off points and that.
Right, Bedford's not a short distance away, is it? How long did you take to get here?
About 2 hours.
Okay. And why do you feel like you really need to be here?
I'm not really sure because I like helping people out, so I've come down here to help out. And I met these two ladies on the train, and then I met her.
Hello.
As well.
Hi.
Don't know your name. We're from the BBC News Facebook page. You're live on the BBC News Facebook page right now.
We need help, actually.
Okay, tell us what you need. In fact, you can tell people
I'm
yourself.
Terry from the Scientology Volunteer Ministers, and the problem that we're having is we've gotten so many donations in all our sectors, especially here, but we have no transportation storage.
Right.
We distribute, not a
Yeah.
problem. Got plenty of volunteers. So we're desperate for vans and trucks
Right.
and for storage of it while we distribute.
Okay, so very clear message.
Yeah.
You've got enough food, blankets,
Yeah.
clothing, all
Yes,
of that.
yes.
You need boxes and you need vans.
Van storage and
Storage.
boxes.
Right, okay.
Van's really desperate because we're going to have to store some of it.
Right.
The council has been in a meeting to decide whether to help or not for 4 hours.
Right.
And we still have no word. So we've started to call just random people to say, you know, like storage and moving companies, you know, and say, can you help us out? And
Okay.
we're boxing it all up.
Right.
Yeah?
Where are you getting your boxes from at the moment?
Yellow storage is bringing some, but we're still short loads. We're still short loads.
Right. Okay, so very clear message. Storage.
Latymer Community Church, this is the biggest depository, the one that really needs the help.
Okay, so there are, I believe there are 10 in total, is that
Yeah,
right?
but the other one.
This is the one, though, yeah.
I've been here pretty much since 8 this morning
Okay.
and been to all of them.
Right.
And that's why I'm stationed here, is because this one is the one with the real problem.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, okay.
Vans and storage and
Yes,
boxes.
And boxes. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank
okay.
you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll just come around here slightly. I don't want to get in your way. Let's just go around the side here. So Patricia asks, where are the victims living currently? There are some people staying here, I believe. There are people camping out in various community centres and other places. Goodness me. So this appears to be mainly children's things. So this is the other side of the fence we showed you earlier. So if you remember, there's blankets, children's clothes, children's baths. So you can see someone with a, if Tony can pick it up, might be a bit distant, someone with a buggy, children's buggy. Just a massive amount of activity. And in the midst of it, a very poignant thing. Let me just show you this. Just on the wall here, I just asked Tony just to zoom into it for a second. Another missing poster. That makes you think, doesn't it? Have you seen Jessica Urbano? Missing from the Grenfell Tower fire. Jessica is 12 years old. She's 12 years old, approximately 5 foot with brown eyes and long curly hair. That's what she looks like. There's a phone number there, and of course the details of the police contact numbers on the BBC website as well. That's what it's about. Just look into the distance over to our right slightly. Some media attention obviously from all over the world now. Let's just go for a little walk, perhaps we'll show you from the other side. So boxes are coming. So there's one here with bedding. I can see another one, women's tops, large. Women's dresses and skirts, shoes, scarves, trousers, women's trousers, men's socks and underwear. Let's keep walking and we'll see it right from the other side actually. Let's just keep going. Just forgive us if the signal breaks up. So that's so over to our right, that's the big pile of clothing that we saw from the other side. If we look down, if we take a big wide shot there, that's a hell of a thing, isn't it? You've got hundreds of people, tons of donations, literally tons of donations. Everybody here no doubt reflecting on the news this morning that the death toll has now risen to 17, with the expectation that it will rise.
Yeah.
So sorry.
I'm looking for the Westway Sport and Fitness Center. They are in need more in mattresses, so we want to help them.
Okay. So we spoke to some organisers just on the other side. Woman in a yellow, very distinctive yellow T-shirt, and I think she's organised it. She said she's been to all of the community centres this morning.
The one is in yellow.
Just
the last.
just
the
over.
corner.
Yeah, in the at the end of this fence here.
Okay.
So there's a.
Thank you so
she's
much.
one of the organisers, and I
She
think
might
she can
help.
point you in the right direction.
Thank
Definitely,
you.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Goodness me. Just an extraordinary sight. Just down below I can see, again, children's toys. I can see boxes of breakfast cereal. What can Tony see here? I can see tennis balls and toys. I can see a big teddy bear. I can see clothing. There's a teddy bear in a bag. Obviously, again, time to reflect on the children who've been very badly affected by what's gone on here and the community response to what's happened. So if you have any more questions and comments, please do put them in the box and we'll try and get to as many as possible. Clearly, many people here. Many people here. Just an extraordinary sight.
Sorry, mate. You want to
Sorry, let me get out of your way.
Yeah, everything.
Sarah says, God bless the victims. Vicky says, bless the volunteers doing a great job. Vicky says, our thoughts and prayers are with you. Okay, so we're just coming to the end of our time here. So I think we'll probably leave it there. Precious says, thank you so much for the donations. You guys are heroes. Precious, I think you've just summed up the views of many people looking at what we've seen here today. So thank you very much for joining us on this BBC News Facebook Live. We'll leave it there and we'll have full updates on the story, no doubt, through the day as it unfolds. And we'll speak to you again soon. But for now, thank you for watching.